Halo begins with Green Man and his friends fleeing on a ship called the Pillar of Autumn from the lost planet of Reach, hoping to get away without being followed, even though the ending of Reach shows the Covenant was actively aware of them and trying to stop them from leaving. The Pillar of Autumn is in fact followed, prompting the captain to wake up Green Man and get him into the fight by dithering around with eye coordination shield tests while they are actively under attack and getting boarded. To everyone's shock, Covenant break in, prompting Green Man to run for it because he doesn't have a weapon. Redshirt tries to lead the way and gets blown up, which you didn't notice if you saw the diversionary path and jumped through it immediately like a trained squirrel like I did. Green Man runs through the ship and multiple battles without stopping to pick up a gun from all the dead soldiers around him and gets to the bridge where the captain hands over E-Girl Halsey to keep safe. There's a super advanced megastructure nearby called a Halo they need her to access, and it would be a really shitty situation if anything happened to her.
So this one's kind of interesting. It's kind of a jokey video about it. Not really the best kind of video. I guess we'll finish it though. Screw it. I couldn't really find anything else.
Shoves E-Girl Halsey into his slot and is given a so-called empty gun that can immediately fire, so I want to know exactly what kind of wizardry the captain is working with.
I don't...
He's not wrong. He does say he doesn't keep it loaded, and yet it has bullets in it, which is a huge, weird plot hole there.
Keep it loaded, son. You'll have to find ammo as you go.
Yeah.
Making his way through the ship, Green Man gets on the very last life pod and becomes the sole survivor of said pod despite being the only one not strapped in, so I guess seatbelts really do kill people. After a relaxing...
Damn, bro really just said, yeah, seatbelts kill people. Again, okay, let's get real here for just a second. Yes, they do save lives way more than if you didn't have it, right? We all know this. But yes, they can also be dangerous as well. If you have a high enough impact, you having that seatbelt isn't going to save you. But it is still better than nothing, because then you are guaranteed to die, rather than having a low chance, right? This is basics, okay? We should all know this. So please, 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 for the love of God, wear your seatbelts, okay? Please. I'm begging you, chat. Please wear your seatbelts when you drive. Okay? He's memeing. It's fine. But that kind of irks me just a little bit. Alright? Please wear your seatbelts. They will save your life. Unless the crash is too bad. Okay? Please. And you shouldn't be that reckless anyways to be getting into a problem in the first place. It's a precaution because you shouldn't be screwing around while you're driving in the first place. There we go. That's all I'm going to say about that, chat.
Jaunt through the hills and casually decorating them in dead aliens, Green Man joins up with the other survivors, including Cigar Sergeant and Pilot who is too good for this world. E-Girl proceeds to say a clearly constructed cave covered in processed metal is not a natural cave, as if anyone with a working set of eyes or sense of touch couldn't have realized that, and I don't understand why they had to say something so bizarrely obvious.
This cave is not a natural formation. Someone built it, so it must lead somewhere.
You don't say. Yeah, it's true. She is really bad about that. She does explain the most obvious things in the universe to you. It is kind of funny. I was laughing a little bit about some of those things.
Green Man is given a supposed stealth mission in an action game, which I immediately cocked up and went full guns blazing on because stealth is for games where it's the focus. After a fight with two very wormy boys, he makes it to a gravity lift that'll bring...
So you guys didn't see this part. This particular part, you guys didn't see it because I screwed up and I forgot to switch it back. That's what happened. But this part was so easy that you might as well have not watched it. It took me like 2 minutes at most. Like, it was insanely easy, even on Heroic.
Him to a Covenant ship where the captain is being held prisoner. It looks like no one is home at first before invisible.
And this part here was probably the second hardest spot in the entire game for me. That being is, I couldn't see these damn invisible guys, sword guys, almost at all. And there were like at least 12 of them. It was crazy. They just kept pouring out and killing me. But I eventually did it, and yeah, I got through it. The other part, we'll come to that one. But really, there's only like, I want to say like 3 parts in the entire game. And if you go back and watch my YouTube videos when they roll out, because they're coming out currently every single day, chat, please go there. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff for me. Watch it, put it on loop in the background while you're doing something else or when you leave the house. Do it for me, please. Appreciate it. It helps the channel out so much. And, but yeah.
Boys stab half the boarding team with the Halo sword before they're taken out. Rescuing the captain, him and Eagle explain that the Covenant are big mad about humans touching their special ring because they see it as divine, and we haven't converted yet, so that's our bad, really. Regardless...
Wait, there was an option to convert? I don't remember that being an option. I'm pretty sure that's not a thing. They would not let us convert and just be a part of them. I don't think so.
The Halo is dangerous, so we don't want them to have it. The good pilot can't make a rescue, so Green Man and his friends steal a Covenant dropship from the hangar instead. Once out, the gang regroups and moves to a different area of the ring that's nice and tropical looking, but there's no time to soak in the rays and go snorkeling. There's a map room to find, as this will point Green Man to Halo's control room. Unfortunately, the story shuts the door in Green Man's face and forces him to...
Not true, chat. If you are good enough to drive the car through there and keep it open, you can actually just skip everything else and get right in there. Even in this version, I almost was able to do it. But I wasn't quite able to. But I was able to kill the guy inside by throwing a grenade.
Run around the island for a bit to unlock said door before he can reach the map room. He takes a moment to look out over an acrophobic's worst nightmare and kicks a helmet off the edge to see if the bottomless-looking hole is indeed bottomless, which is a very good use of time when he needs to stop the Covenant from getting to the controls of an ancient superweapon.
He's not wrong. That was a complete and utter waste of time. And bro was on a time limit. So it was kind of crazy. People were dying at that point. And bro's just sitting there taking in insights, kicking a thing off the side, waiting and being like, alright, cool. And then moving on. Like, bro, you gotta get your ass moving and get the hell out of here.
He gets the info and Best Pilot flies him down a giant borehole to perform an aerial insertion from underground, yeeting Green Man at the Covenant once again. After the first section called I Would Have Been Your Daddy, which...
Yeah, it is called I Would Have Been Your Daddy. Now, who's daddy? Is it us? Or is it them? Or, like, what's going on here with that? And, I don't really want to be anyone's daddy. I mean, as in, like, who is not my actual kid, right? That kind of weirds me out just a little bit, but that's just me. I mean, I would get desensitized and used to it in no time, and then I would just play along with it, but still. I've never really liked being called daddy. Unironically, it's weird when you don't have a kid.
It sure is a thing to read now in the cursed year of our Lord 2021. Green Man fights through aliens, glass floors on bridges, and potential frostbite to reach the control center. He plugs E-Girl into Halo and, like a true caveman, asks what kind of weapon it is and how to use it against the Covenant. Unimpressed, she continues searching Halo's databanks and realizes the captain is about to do the military equivalent of shitting at a box fan because the weapons cache he's looking for is not, in fact, a weapons cache.
Yup. It wasn't a weapons cache. We almost destroyed all of the universe, chat. That is what almost happened. We were stopped literally like seconds away from destroying the universe and purging every life. What is this, Warhammer?
Of course, E-Girl doesn't
They wish, chat.
explain what it actually is, because how else would a first-time player enjoy the shitting terror of... Green Man, duly warned that things will go sideways if he doesn't stop the captain, jumps back on the Pelican with Best Pilot and flies off to fight through a jungle section of the ring. The Halos are actually quite convenient locations where sci-fi writers are concerned, because you can have many different biomes in one location, unlike planets.
True facts, because they are manufactured. You could put literally any kind of biome inside of it, and any number of them as well, to whatever size you want. That's manufacturing, baby.
It's well known for their lack of variety. Reaching the facility in the jungle, Green Man fights his way down to an increasingly bloody and dead body-filled situation until he comes across a surviving soldier who has had something of a bad time and keeps screaming about not wanting to be turned into.
Yeah, see, I immediately got freaked out by him because he started shooting at me, and then I murdered him. Am I wrong? Am I the bad guy here, chat? Sorry, but I mean, I can't have a dude shooting at me, right? Especially with a pistol.
Into one of those things, which I'm sure is nothing to be worried about. I mean, this is a sci-fi action boy game where you shoot aliens. What's the worst that could— Oh, Jesus Christ, kill it with fire! After reviewing the footage from the dead soldier's head camera in the blood-filled room he found it in,
Jenkins, baby! Yeah, Jenkins was kind of a scaredy cat, but, I mean, and he had to be told to shut up and nut up, but it's fine, because, we don't speak ill of the dead, chat. We don't speak ill of the dead.
Green Man is attacked by the Flood, a horrifying parasite hive mind of spores and bad vibes that even the super advanced Forerunners who built the Halo couldn't figure out how to destroy, just its food source. But we'll get to that, won't we? Fighting his—
Yes, its food source is literally anything and anyone. That is what it is. If it's organic, it's taking it. Unless it's maybe plants, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know what the question is for that. I haven't looked up enough to know if it affects, like, plant life, but it definitely affects organic life, for sure. Is in the form of humans and, I assume, animals and things, but maybe not? I don't know.
his way through the space zombies, Green Man reaches a tower in the jungle that was meant to be where Best Pilot rescues him, only to be abruptly kidnapped by Worst Robot 343 Guilty Spark, the monitor in charge of this particular ring. This begins one of the more infuriating parts of the game, where Green Man is forced to—
True, totally infuriating. Bro, I hate a segment where you have to just ignore all enemies and run. I hate that segment.
fight through hallway after hallway after hallway of Flood, while Worst Robot cheerily hums to himself, unbothered by Green Man struggling to stay alive, and casually remarking how keeping samples of this impossible-to-contain nightmare—
This was one of the most infuriating parts, even more than the last one that we just did, which was the Maw. Okay? The Maw was incredibly annoying. However, not nearly as annoying as this segment right here. Especially on Heroic. I can't even imagine what it's like on Legendary now. It's probably damn near impossible. You have to just get lucky as hell.
After the last catastrophic outbreak was perhaps something akin to a mistake. At the end of this torturous marathon, he acquires the key to activate Halo for all of 2 seconds before Worst Robot snatches it from him because he's tragically organic and vulnerable to being infected, which is—
Yes. That whole situation could have been avoided if he had just taken it out and then just put it directly into his pocket, right? Like wherever he was keeping it before. Why in the hell would you have something so important with an enemy right by you and then you just take it out and look at it for like 10 to 20 seconds and then go to put it away? Bro, grab it, put it away, secure, be ready. Like, what the hell are you doing? You're a soldier. Not only are you a soldier, but you are a super soldier who has been augmented, right? Like, what the hell? Why did you not just put it in your pocket? Put it in your prison wallet for all I give a damn. Just grab it and put it away. What are you doing?
suddenly a concern to Worst Robot while he hummed and floated along up to this point. Worst Robot teleports Green Man back to the control room to activate Halo and contain the flood, which he almost does, until E-Girl reveals herself and roasts him for not even questioning what activating Halo actually does, which turns out to not, in fact, be eradicate the flood itself, but starve the flood by killing everything around it.
Yes. Yes. The instant we find out, we almost wiped out all life in the universe. And then we're just like, what do you mean? Huh? What? Huh? Bro, trust the AI who's been leading you this whole time, and then you suddenly don't trust her? When she says, oh, you're about to commit genocide on literally all of other life, other than the flood? Huh? Why would you question that? You've questioned nothing until now. Now you're questioning it. Why?
It turns out Green Man does not in fact want to kill every living thing in a 25,000 light-year radius, so Worst Robot remarks,
Why would you hesitate to do what you've already done?
We need to go right now.
Last time you asked me if it were my choice, would I do it? Having had considerable time to ponder your query, my answer has not changed. There is no choice. We must activate the ring.
And that is the difference between robots and living sentient beings who are actual organic limited life forms such as ourselves, right? That is a huge difference. The machine doesn't give a shit. The machine does not care at all about the sanctity of life or whatever not existing anymore, right? It's a machine. It's like, okay, well, whatever. But for us, we're like, we understand. We were human, right? We understand that life is precious, and we need to also, since we're a soldier, determine what is good in this moment for the sake of humanity, right? Because we're Master Chief. That is our whole goal here. Our entire goal is to save all of humanity to have a chance against the Covenant, right? And the Flood, because now we have unleashed the Flood. That was our fault, right? The higher-ups decided, oh, weapon, cool. Well, it wasn't the weapon they thought of. It's really a biological weapon. Then they're like, oh shit, what did we do? Now we gotta fix this.
which is very confusing if you haven't been finding and touching all the terminals scattered throughout the game that give you various bits of insight into the story. Green Man quickly shoves E-Girl back into his head since she has the key now and fights his way out of the facility with a new mission: destroy the ring by exploding the Pillar of Autumn's space engine. I'm sure this won't infuriate the aliens who see this place as sacred, but they've been on a warpath before the game started, so it's a moot point.
True. Facts. Bro, they've been after us since the very beginning. They don't care about nothing else. And now we're suddenly like, oh, we don't want to infuriate the Xenos here. Like, what? Are you kidding me? Bro, we're already in a war. What do you give a shit about upsetting them for? No. We gotta do what we gotta do. Forget it.
This begins the second worst part of the game, where Green Man fights through a snowy canyon, running from one power generator to the next in order to stall Halo's ability to fire and buy some time.
Yeah, that one was pretty painful too. Considering the best way to get through that is not by fighting, but getting lucky enough to run to the ghost and then get the ghost and go to the ziggurat, right? If you don't know what a ziggurat is, chat, I'm not going to explain it to you. Look it up. It's a common thing to know what a ziggurat is. Like, there's many games that based itself around it. Screw it. Anyway, but yeah, you get there, and the easiest way, you can skip like a shit ton of level, right? Like a ton of level, just by jumping into this Banshee. I was about to say ghost, but no, it's a Banshee. and then flying over to the ziggurat, then flying directly from there to an upper spot that you already know about, but by the time you get there, you totally forget because you've already done this 3 times already. Just going to the extra things, using your shield to take the cores down, right?
You are permitted to cry if this section gave you as many ulcers as it did me. Once Green Man has acquired PTSD and a fear of snowy places, E-Girl pulls a teleportation out of his ass and yeets them both to the location of the captain.
He's not wrong. They 100% pulled that teleportation out of their ass. They're like, oh, we can only do it once.
Which happens to be on a half-destroyed Covenant cruiser overrun with flood. He fights his way through both forces against the captain's orders, who sounds like he's not having a great time either. We soon find out why, as Green Man finds the captain engaging.
This whole segment, from the beginning of where we just were to this scene right here, huge pain in the ass. Man, I hate having to run from the enemies in a combat game. Bro, worst thing you have to do ever. You should be able to have everything you need to be skilled enough to kill everything and get through. Yet you have 3 different fronts here if you wait. Not only do you have 3 different fronts, but you also have to make your way through one of them while getting shot in the back. And you kind of have to just run and hope you survive, especially if you're on heroic, like I was. Bro, it is unbearable to have to do that. That is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to kill the enemies, keep moving on. Bro, if it was possible for me to do it, I would have. But it wasn't. It was ridiculous. It was insane. Like, this part of the game in the original was nowhere near this hard. Not even close. Like, it was easy. Like, in fact, you know what? I'm coming over here. It was easy. That's how we're doing it. Easy.
In some extreme hive play and leaves him to it, but not after giving the captain some impromptu brain surgery for his implant. Clearance acquired, Green Man and E-Girl catch a ride on a Banshee, leaving the Covenant to deal with their spore problem.
By the way, he glossed over this. We took our fist, right? We took our fist and we punched it through his face and grabbed his implant, and then we put it inside of ourselves. What the heck, bro? What is this crazy stuff going on here? Bro, we had to take Captain Key's brain implant by punching through his skull because he got turned.
To it, but not after giving the...
There, right there, we punch him in the face and we steal his implant right there, just like that. Instantly and easily, punch, grab, mine, boom, we leave. It's nutty.
Captain some impromptu brain surgery for his implant. Clearance acquired, Green Man and E-Girl catch a ride on a Banshee, leaving the Covenant to deal with their spore problem.
Which was also a pain in the ass, by the way, at 1 HP and no grenades. There's like a ton of dudes right there. And regular Covenant dudes, by the way. And one of the grunts has a hunter weapon. If you're on heroic. It's a pain in the A. Bro.
To the Pillar of Autumn, Green Man edges the landing, waiting until the last second to bail and land on the ship safely to E-Girl's
Yeah, we did do that. We literally banked at the last second. Look at this. Look at this, chat. We banked at the last second of getting inside, probably realizing we're not going to fit, went down, and then pulled ourselves up. Just so we wouldn't have this weapon.
Pressed.
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
Navigating the first level of the game after it got all messed up, a neat reversal I always like to see, Green Man reaches...
Don't get me wrong, chat. I love that we start here, enter back here in the same spot that we left it, right? Then we have to go back all the way through the area we went through. But it was in a refreshing way because there was a new enemy for one, and two, they were fighting each other. That was amazing. I loved that. That was great. Some of the meta there is to let them sit and kill each other until one of the factions is left. When you're at the higher level, you're going to have to do that.
The bridge and plugs E-Girl into the somehow still working system. E-Girl remotely starts the detonation, only for worst robots...
I love the fact that he calls her E-Girl. That is crazy. That is 100% hilarious. I'm loving that.
To interrupt her, the disrespect. This forces them to go to the engine room in person and start exploding the
This is the part that pissed me off the most about this entire game, chat. The reason I couldn't do it at first, and you know what, we're going to come back here. The reason I couldn't do it at first, chat, is because the dialogue is so long. It is so long. And then you have to activate it. And then you have to sit there and wait for like 2 damn minutes while friggin' enemies are shooting at you. What the hell is with this? Why is it scripted this way? That is an awful way to script something. That is the absolute worst possible way to do a game, right? Make it so scripted that you have to sit around and wait and almost die on the hardest difficulties just to get one thing to happen. Ugh, irritating.
To interrupt her, the disrespect. This forces them to go to the engine room in person and start exploding the volatile parts until the ship destabilizes and begins to explode around.
Which you have to wait for. By the way, chat, you have to wait for the stuff to end. You have to wait for the chatter to end so that it can explain the most obvious damn thing in the world to you. Like, oh, yeah, we gotta destroy these things. And now you gotta wait in order for me to finish telling you how it works. Oh, this was irritating. That was the only reason this part was hard. Another thing I noticed is, because I've never played this version of it, the Master Chief version I've never played before. This is the first time I've played the Master Chief version on the higher graphics and everything, and added extras and whatnot. And, bro, so they didn't put a lot of enemies here, but they made you wait forever to be able to complete the first objective. Oh my god, it was insane. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it at first because it just made me wait too damn long to where I would get killed by the sentinels that are there. This is on heroic, chat. On heroic. So, insane. It's ridiculous.
Them prompting Green Man to make a wild escape down a racetrack that runs the length of the ship for some reason. It almost looks like...
Yeah, for some reason. Which, I get it. It's a driving section. A lot of games at the time had them. Look at Half-Life 2. We played that on the channel. You saw the whole airboat kind of deal. Same deal. There's just a quick segment at the end of the game where you just gotta drive and drive well. But the problem is, they have changed the way the car physics works to where you flip if you're going full speed, no matter what. You will flip at least 2 times during this segment. At least. I promise.
Like best pilot will reach him in time, only to be shot down by Covenant right as she gets there. With only one option left, Green Man drives to the only remaining viable shuttle and escapes just in time to avoid having his arse burned off. He and E-Girl look out the window to watch Halo fall apart, which destroys the ability of the ring to wipe out all nearby life, but doesn't exactly kill the Flood. Shouldn't we be
Yeah, it doesn't kill the Flood. However, it does solve the problem for now. But once the Flood, like, I don't know, I assume they can survive in space, right? They just kind of lie dormant forever? Question mark. I would assume they would be able to make planetfall and then corrupt other places. But, whatever. Cool.
concerned that there are now free floating chunks of debris that just have those things on them? I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. Regardless, the story ends with the game refusing to let you see Green Man's face as he stoically corrects E-Girl's assumption that it's all over with.
No. I think we're just getting started.
I think they did correct that, didn't they? I think they did. I think this is an old video of the old one.
And with that, the first Halo ends. I have to say, it wasn't as jarring as I expected going from Reach to Combat Evolved, but playing Infinite multiplayer back-to-back with the Master Chief Collections campaign is getting me killed more.
Anyway, chat. That was Halo Combat Evolved, the story explained. I couldn't find a better thing, like a timeline or something like that. But hey, it'll do. It'll work. And it was pretty interesting. Khanlusa, I don't know who this is, but, they have 80K, 80.1K subscribers. So, yeah, go check them out. I'll put them in the video. Cool. I'm going to thumbs up that. That was pretty good, actually. I actually enjoyed it. But yeah, so yes, I did have some gripes. But yes, I did have some gripes, chat. I really did, with the way that they had changed the game in slight ways. But quite a few of them were slightly bad ways. Like, changing the maps up, that's really annoying. Don't change the maps up. Dude, the game's been out for friggin' ever, bro. Like, what was it, 2004, right? Something like that. Bro, don't change the maps. We all know the maps. You change the maps, you can screw us all up. It can definitely change how the way you play the game. And it completely screwed up my formula for that particular area, where you have to save all of your dudes from that area on the ring. When you first get there, you have to go and search for survivors, keep them safe, extract them, get them the hell out of there. Bro, I think I saved one person on Heroic. One person the entire time. Because they changed the map, didn't give me the guns I needed. That used to be in the exact spots that used to exist, right? So who knows, maybe the guns existed somewhere else, but I don't know where, because I couldn't find them. I don't know. But yeah, so I've got gripes like that, but all in all, we all know Halo. It's a great game. We love to play it, no matter what difficulty we're on. Yeah, and we're going to keep on going, chat. We're going to keep playing all of the Halos. We're going to do all the lore dives for them. If you put it down in the comments in YouTube, if you want to see something, you want to see a lore video, you want to talk about something, you have criticism of any kind, good, bad, whatever, I don't care. I'll respond. go ahead and put it on my YouTube channel, and I will see you guys there. Put comments, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff for me. Very much appreciate you guys. You have been a great, great group, and I will see you guys later.